Hey there, good morning. I am John. Today is Thursday, March 9th, 2023. This is my daily vlog. It's a time to stand in front of you first thing in the morning, talk to you about what I've done yesterday, what I plan to do today, what the progress is on my journey of making content creation a sustainable full-time operation. And let's get going with again, this is a good day. A lot of good things are happening. And I can only imagine someone who watches this vlog, there are these ebbs and flows where there's a week or two where I just say, well, back to work, try to plug away at it. There are days when I'm kind of down, but we're in an up. Like, I'm braced for the down coming after it because it'll be a letdown after all this excitement. There's a big chunk of stats to dump on you, but I'm gonna give you that in a second. Let's talk about what happened yesterday first. So yesterday I finished all the tasks for publishing the podcast, which came out today. That's available now for you to listen and download. I did create a short video that will promote the podcast today. They'll release on all social platforms. I did posting of other short form content on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook Reels and all that. Did all that yesterday. And then I had intended yesterday, you'll recall, to start working on my next long form video. I plan to do that, and I still have that one planned. But once again, something happened that caused me to pivot. So let's talk about all the stats that I want to talk about. So you'll remember back on the weekend we had this huge burst. There was this video that did incredibly well. It's still doing incredibly well. That review of that little Atari gadget is now up to over 72,000 views. I don't know who you are or what kind of views you get. For me, that's mind-boggling that many times that video has been clicked on and shared and shown, and people have watched this review of this toy. So, of course, on the heels of that, I want to get another bite of that apple, and so I did a follow-up with how to expand it and add games to it. That video is up to almost 10,000 views after 4 days. 4 days. I know. So anyway, I wanted another bite of the apple, and so there were problems with the paddles. So I'm like, well, let's talk about that. Let me do analysis. I did some research and figured out kind of what's going on. I don't have a solution yet, but it's more of like a ongoing story. I did that video. I released it yesterday at 11 o'clock. It's already got 2,500 views. And it's still growing and still going strong. So I'd intended to work on this other video that I said, but what I'm learning so much is, you'll remember I said yesterday, I learned that my Twitch live stream for editing the podcast is not a one-way street. It's not just me creating entertainment and people chatting and asking questions. I learned that it was collaborative. The people that showed up there were interested. They wanted to help. They wanted to give input. And I wanted to be receptive to that, and enjoyed it. The comment section of videos I'm doing have become that interactivity for this project. And it's something I'll continue to try to mine because it's so valuable. Here's what's going on. So in the video I posted, so many people, just yesterday, the one that's been out less than 24 hours, people are like, this is amazing, you did some research and you figured out what's going on, I hope AtGames can address it, all that is great. And I saw so many people talking about the specific problem of having trouble articulating what the game controller is doing wrong. So my QA hat got put back on, and I'm like, can I devise a way to quantify the weirdness of this toy to actually scientifically show what it's doing incorrectly? And I did. So I started making that video, which I hope to release this coming Friday. Now, I had a conversation with my wife just before I started recording this, talking about, how this first video is this tugboat and I'm attaching things to it. But just in the time since I spoke to her, I think I came up with this new kind of metaphor for what I'm kind of doing. So all of these videos are the same topic. They're all riding, if you will, the same wave. Clearly, the force of the wave is that first video. It's up to 72,000 views. As soon as that happened, suddenly I've got other boats in the water. They're riding that wave. Or, I don't know, boats on a wave are probably dangerous. Surfers, whatever you want to say, but other things on that wave. Not every video is going to crest and get the huge critical mass of that first video. But as long as I keep attaching videos to it and there's still an interest and that wave is still strong, these other videos are going to get pulled along in that crest, in that wave, in that wake of this video. So it only makes sense to listen to that audience, to hear what they're concerned or interested about, find a way to offer something to them, attach it so that more views get pulled along. And they don't all have to get 70,000 views or 100 or whatever this is going to do. If it gets 10 or 25 or whatever, that's more than it would have gotten on its own if it did not have the momentum of this big one. And I'm seeing it that way. That's why I'm trying to get these out in rapid succession, because I want them to be, not the next day, but within a few days, so that the interest is there and somebody goes, well, look, this guy's really responsive. I can't tell you how many comments I've gotten. It's so great, of people who subscribe brand new who say, where has this channel been all my life? I love the work that you're doing here. I'm so glad the algorithm recommended you to me. So many comments like that are fantastic. It reinforces that the thing that I always believed, which is the work we're doing is good. It needs to get seen by the people that want to see it, because I know they're out there. You just can't force it. And so to that end, what about subscribers? Well, it's hard to catch, because I used to look at subscribers, as I said, every few hours to see how it's doing. Now, every few minutes it changes, it grows. At the moment, we're at 20,590 some. By the time I finish this video, it may be 20,006. Maybe, because it really happens that quick. I mean, it takes, 20 minutes for me to come back here and shoot this. So that's enough time to get another 8 or 9 subscribers. And yesterday netted 186 subscribers. There was a time 2 weeks ago where 10 was the most we could muster, maybe 12 or 15. And we're doing 10 to 12 times that daily at the moment. And I want to keep feeding that beast. So, okay, let's talk about today, and then we're going to wrap this up. So today, once I get this vlog finished, I'll post the short content to social and everywhere to promote the podcast, do a little social posting. Reading comments has become a huge part of my day, because it's not just reading comments and saying, hey, thank you. I'm learning from the commenters. There are plenty of people smarter than me that make connections that I don't. They inform my next video. And when appropriate or possible, I call them out too. And I go, hey, this viewer said this thing to me. It was really interesting. I did that in my most recent one. And I think that builds this community that ultimately is going to grow, continue to grow this in a way that I need to make things continue to happen. So I am then today going to work on this new scientific video that follows up on the main one. My hope is to release it on Friday. I love having a video to release on Friday. Why? Because it has the whole weekend of being a new video that people get shown at the top of their list. That's what happened last weekend, right? So I got to work on the thumbnail for that, which is no longer an afterthought, because the thumbnail is like, that's the thing that gets you in the door. So yeah, I have to think of a creative, artistic, eye-catching, thing that explains what I'm doing in the video, and get that out for today. For tomorrow. So I want to get that all completed today by the end of my work today. And then finally, of course, it's Thursday, which means I have a new episode of Star Trek Picard. It means there's a new episode of Survivor from yesterday to watch. And I'm going to see a movie tonight, a late night movie with some friends. So I have a full day stacked that includes both work and relaxation and excitement and watching stats that are cool. These are the days that I want to have for the rest of my life if I can make this thing happen. That's all I want. I don't got to be rich. I just got to be sustainable and do the things that are rewarding to me and rewarding to viewers and providing interest and content and value. And that's just where I'm trying to go. That's where I'm trying to go. Thank you so much for being here today to check out my vlog. If you did, if you're here every day, I love you for that. I so much appreciate you, especially. Have a fantastic Thursday. Do something good for yourself today if you can. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.